The girl excitedly picked up a condom, quickly tore open the wrapper and slipped it over the mouth of a liquor bottle. As vodka was poured inside, the once limp condom instantly ballooned into a large water-filled sphere. Using the refraction of sunlight, she focused a bright spot onto her companion's hand, and when she heard a startled yelp, she knew her idea had worked. Following Jenny's instructions, her companion pulled a banknote from her wallet and held it behind the water balloon. Before long, smoke began to rise from the paper. Seeing this, Jenny was overjoyed. She quickly used the precious spark they had created to relight the gas burner, which had gone out. Watching the hot air balloon slowly rise again, the two finally felt a bit of relief, but this only slightly increased their chances of survival. Their safety was still far from guaranteed, and they needed another way to attract attention. They began searching for flammable cloth, tied it tightly into a bundle, and after fixing it to a stick, held it to the flame above. As the cloth burned, a thick plume of black smoke soon rose from the balloon. This sight caught the attention of tourists on the ground, but the balloon's fuel would only last for another 30 minutes. After that, it would fall into the sea. Jenny knew it was only a matter of time before they both died. She took out her phone to search for a signal, but no matter how she tried, it didn't work. Just then, her companion spotted something that might save them. She grabbed Jenny's phone, pried off the back cover, and pointed to a small hole, saying it was an antenna port that could extend the signal. She then unfastened a thin steel wire from the tether and inserted it into the hole. Sure enough, the moment it went in, the phone showed a signal. But before they could celebrate, the call they had just dialed was cut off as the phone died. Only 2 seconds later, Jenny's hope evaporated, and she could only let the balloon drift with the wind. Soon the fuel ran out, and no matter how hard they struggled, they couldn't stop their descent toward the ocean. To buy time for rescue, Jenny and her companion climbed to the top of the basket, hoping to stay above the water for as long as possible. Eventually, the balloon hit the sea, leaving them stranded atop the basket. As the seawater slowly rose toward them, they bitterly regretted taking this hot air balloon trip. 5 minutes later, the balloon sank completely, leaving Jenny and her friend floating in the ocean with nothing to hold on to. It seemed only a matter of time before exhaustion claimed them. Just then, an empty gas cylinder bobbed to the surface. Jenny, seeing a glimmer of hope, pulled her semi-conscious friend over to it. It offered some support, but it was no long-term solution. They still needed another way to survive. The freezing water drained their strength, but suddenly Jenny's face lit up with excitement. A massive cargo ship was approaching. But before they could shout for help, they realized it was heading directly toward them. At that speed, they'd be dead in under a minute. They swam desperately to the side, narrowly avoiding being crushed, but also losing their chance to signal the crew. Physically and mentally spent, they felt all will to survive slipping away. They stopped struggling and simply floated, awaiting the end. Just then, a distant foghorn sounded. The thick black smoke they had released earlier had drawn attention from people on shore. When rescue finally came, Jenny and her friend broke down in tears. After this ordeal, they would no doubt keep their distance from extreme sports forever.